morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. This is Good Morning Africa, and we're coming to you from Kenya's capital here in Nairobi. A beautiful Monday morning, the first day of February. I trust that your day has started off well. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuned in today. About 25 minutes past 10 a.m. here. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Miriam Agoto, and today we have a lot in store for you. We shall start with the news making headlines as usual, and then we shall go to our main topic, looking at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. And on that segment, we shall be led by Dr. David Matsanga. So before I get into the nitty-gritty of it, I'd like to introduce the panel this morning, and I'll start with Dr. himself, Dr. David Matsanga. Doctor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam, from the Political Command Center in London. Thank you very much. This is the legacy trend we shall be discussing in the second part of our show. In the next 30 minutes or so, we shall be discussing the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. What is it? This is breakfast with Dr. Matsanga, and we have divided it that way, that Miriam controls the segment of newspapers, headlines, and making headlines around the world, comments, review of the papers, and discussing issues as they are, the Kenyan politics, everything, the BBI, the Sagana, the fourth Sagana, which Kidi wants to host in Kisumu. And there are so many Saganas coming up now. Already the people of Western region, from Mudavadi, Wetangula, Wamarwa, Lusaka, and others, Wycliffe, Musalia, all of them are talking of they want to have their fifth Sagana or four. The competition for the Saganas is becoming real. So is the BBI alive? Yes. And thank you very much, Miriam, for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. Coming to us from the Political Command Center there. And we're also joined by Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, very good morning to you, and nice to have you on the show today. All right. Well, Professor is gearing
There he is.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, Miriam, Dr. Matsanga, Javan, Douglas, and Kidi Mwanga, and our viewers, wherever they are, seeing us this morning and evening.
All right. Good morning to you. And you're also joined by Kidi Mwanga, a lawyer from Nairobi. Kidi, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam. A good morning to Dr. David Matsanga. A good morning to Professor Jared Onyari and my able co-panelists, Ndugu Bundi Kirimi and Javan Karanja. It's always nice showing up on Punchline.
All right. Thank you so much, Kidi. It's nice to have you this morning. And we're also joined by Javan Karanja, a journalist and a political analyst from Nanyuki. Javan, a very good morning to you, and nice to have you on the show.
A very good morning to you, Miriam. Good morning to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. Good morning to Dr. David Matsanga, Professor Jared Onyali, Wakili Kidi Mwanga, and Douglas Kiremi. It is a new month of February. And here outside they are saying that this is the only month that has four Mondays, 4 Sundays, and every day of the week. And they are saying that it will only occur after 800 years. Therefore, it's a privilege to be on this month. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. I'm just surprised that you're
ready. Where shall we be doing in 4 days?
A lot. All right, thank you so much. And we're also joined by Douglas Kirimi, who is a writer, a political analyst, and as well as a politician there from Meru County. Douglas, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam, and also to our crew back at our headquarters in Nairobi. And good morning to Dr. David Matsanga from the Political Command Center in London. And also to my friend Javan Karanja in Nanyuki, and also Roya Kidi Mwanga in Nairobi, and also Professor Jared Onyari, and also to our viewers across the world.
Okay.
Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you so much, and nice to have all of you this morning. And we start with our main story that is on the front pages of the Daily Nation, and somewhere down there, the main headline is pension shocker for civil servants. And then down there says another headline, Uhuru owes me nothing, says Ruto. Deputy President William Ruto yesterday said his boss, President Kenyatta, does not owe him anything politically for his support in 2002, 2013 and 2017 elections. This even as the DP seemed to hit back at his boss, who accused him of taking credit for Jubilee government's performance on the rooftops of their cars. The DP said that politics of debt and community favors should stop with the well-publicized pact in Jubilee for President Kenyatta to do a 10-year term before backing the DP for his own 10-year stint at the helm for 2022. So this is what DP Ruto is quoted as saying, I'm defending the Jubilee track record from whichever place because we were elected jointly with President Kenyatta and I have that debt to pay. I'll start with you, Professor Jared Onyari.
Thank you, Miriam, for that good question and on what the Deputy President has to answer the President on that. In fact, him answering back, that is a disrespect of the highest order. And from that, who can for those who can analyze that further, Miriam, your boss does not talk and you answer back. And for avoidance of doubt, let the Deputy President know that he's not an equal to the President. The President of the symbol of unity in this country, and he was making it very clear. And I've even Miriam liked the title in the today's People, the Daily, which says, "Trust my debut at your own peril." So what it is here is that the President could have supported him, and he has never indicated that he would not support him, but the Deputy President is running amok. And when he's saying the politics of tribal, Miriam is going further to accuse the President of being a tribal. What the President went to do in Sagana was to put records straight. And he has spoken to the mountain. The mountain has roared back and have adhered to him. And Miriam, you are going to watch. What we need to do in the coming days is to see the President, the Deputy President, if he's man enough, let him just pull it out of the government and start campaigning, have his running mates. That's when we can see him serious. You cannot keep on talking about, oh, you are supporting the President, you are doing this, when you are contrary doing the opposite. In fact, it is an insult to the people of Kenya, Miriam, when the office of the Deputy President has been accused of corruption money. Look at Kimorera and Arrow Dam. Look at the Western Hotel. Look at the Dolphin Hotel, which is built next to the ocean, Miriam. So what we want to say, he should be even ashamed to identify himself with the President when he's having people around him day and night, running around the country abusing the President. So Miriam, we are not taking this on very low. I'm very sure that I can see that the mountain is now energized. Now we are ready for the PPI. And let us meet in 2022 to see that it is not easy, Miriam, that when you are a deputy president of a country, that you become a president. You have to wait for some time. We have Musare Mudavadi is on the queue. We have Kalonzo Musyoka who is on the queue. We have the Prime Minister on the queue. You don't contest for the first time and you think you will make it. Even Joe Biden had to try for so many times. So Miriam, to submit on that, the Deputy President should cease every other time of going to the meetings, to the rallies, to tell people the good things the President is trying to do to achieve his legacy. He should tell us how he has rooted from this country, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much. So the DP say that together with President Kenyatta, they owe Kenyans unity and service delivery as they promised during the 2013-2017 general election. On President Kenyatta's criticism that people should not take credit for his government's projects, the DP said he had contributed enough to the government and had the right to take the credit for them. But it is, I think, Kenyans who will be confused, who follow and support and love Deputy President, because on one side he's been saying, this handshake has really interfered with how we are delivering services. Nothing much is being done, but at the same time, he wants to take credit. So which is which? Is Jubilee government delivering or is it not? Why is Deputy President seems to be not making up his mind, Kidi?
Miriam, thank you. Well, one thing about William Ruto today, as we have observed with the people of Kenya, is that William Ruto is the king of doublespeak. And he speaks from both sides of his mouth. That William Ruto on a Monday can say how the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta is not delivering. And the following day on a Tuesday, William Ruto would wake up and tell the people of Kenya how the government of Uhuru Kenyatta has performed exemplarily well. So that William Ruto today we are asking him that which side is he playing for? Which side is he speaking for? Which side is he rooting for? One, it is William Ruto who has accused President Uhuru Kenyatta of absolutely non-existent things. And then the following day, the next day, he comes up to tell us that he's defending the president. One thing about William Ruto today is that it will be remembered that, President Uhuru Kenyatta is one president who has distributed development as equitably as possible in the history of this country. President Kenyatta Sr. didn't come close to President Uhuru. President Moi did not come close to President Uhuru. President Kibaki, in fact, the worst legacy of President Kibaki was the issue of security development. That today we can talk about development in the heart of South Nyanza, some of the most remotest part of this country, experiencing the development agenda of the president is something that is so commendable. That you go to Northeastern and you realize that the president has made necessary investment to ensure that there is accessibility, that there is roads, that there is electricity in that part of the country. Now, that is the development we're talking about.
Okay.
But then there is a legacy that I want to point out. That the president has not stopped at the hardware of the country. That the president has gone a step further and made investment in the software of the nation. And the first software of the nation is national unity. That the president is saying that today, a young child born in Luo Nyanza, a young child born in northern Kenya, a young child born in Nyeri deserve the same access to opportunities without discrimination. And that is why he brought in the BBI. That let us have a genuine conversation about our country. But then what did the deputy president do? The first thing he did was to fight this agenda and bastardize that process through and through. So that today, when we are writing at the history of William Ruto, we shall remember that he viciously fought the unity agenda of this country, tooth and nail. Thank you, Miriam.
All right, Kitty, thank you so much. Now, this is what the Deputy President was quoted as saying, I am defending the Jubilee track record from whichever place because we were elected jointly with President Kenyatta and we have the debt to pay. There are those running around this country telling us this administration has done nothing. I wonder who that will be. I have to defend it because I participated in its formation. So Deputy President is saying the reason why I have to defend it is because the people walking around saying this administration has done nothing, but, I've been part of the developmental agenda in this country. But the Deputy President himself has been going around saying that service delivery has been affected by the handshake. So isn't that not a bit confusing here, Javen?
Thank you very much, Miriam, for that question. And we must agree that the Deputy President, William Ruto, has mastered the art of doublespeak. He is a specialist in that. And he speaks from what he first reads his audience. And he gives message to audience regarding to where they are. An audience that is in Kajiado will be given a different message to audience that is in Meru or in Kisumu. That's something that he does excellently well. But on the issue of Jubilee and Jubilee performance, Deputy President William Ruto has gone out there to water the gains, to tarnish the gains that the Jubilee government has gotten throughout this period that they have been in power. One, on the Big Four agenda, the president and the deputy president and his allies, and the Gatondo South North Member of Parliament, Moses Kuria, has been saying the affordable housing is not a reality. It's something that cannot be achieved. On the issue of healthcare, they also criticized that the money has been stolen from Afya House. When we came to COVID-19, they came with the COVID billionaires. And when we come to the issue of infrastructure, they're saying that the government is using inflammatory amount of money in this project. And some of these projects don't resonate with the ground. For example, the SGR, the meter gauge railway, the renovation of meter gauge railway, they are saying that money should have directed to other projects. This project that they don't tell us which project are these. On the issue of the BBI, they are saying that the amount of money that is being used in this BBI should have been directed to other projects. We don't know which projects are these that they keep talking about. And they talk of projects that touch the Mwananchi. And I would like to ask them, are wheelbarrows what touch the Mwananchi? Therefore, this is hypocritical. And the deputy president has gone out there, and if he really means what he said, he needs to come out and support the BBI because it's part of President Uhuru agenda. But on the same note, when he was praising the Jubilee government agenda, he was also fighting the BBI. You see, this is what we call mastery of doublespeak. On the same venue, you are speaking of the Jubilee agenda and you are fighting the BBI agenda. They are both from the Jubilee administration. Therefore, he needs to distinguish whether he is the deputy president or a former deputy president, because he speaks like he is a former deputy president to some occasions, and to some point he is still the deputy president. And to avoid that confusion to the people of Kenya, the best thing that deputy president can do is to resign and fight from the outside, because you can't be fighting and pretending to love the president. And we like to ask Kenyans, if the deputy president was the president, could he allow a rogue deputy president? Could he allow a deputy president who sabotages him? No, we have seen people who go contrary to the opinion of the deputy president suffering a lot. When you go even to the social media, you'll see him employing goons who come there to insult. He's a man who does not love criticism. Look at the people who follow him, like the women rep Ango Ingirishi. If you try to criticize him, the best thing he does is to block you and insult you, and to a point of calling you to issue with you threats. These kind of people who cannot take criticism and they are in the government, they should not take President Uhuru Kenyatta for granted. President Uhuru Kenyatta is peace-loving, and that is why they are enjoying that latitude of going around there insulting him. But the day the president will wake up and whip them, that is the day they realize that the Jubilee government, President Uhuru, is under control. They should not take credit of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let them wait and form their government in 2022 if God will allow them, although it is impossible. That is the time they will talk of their manifesto and their agenda and what they have achieved. But for now, the person who is on the wheels is President Uhuru Kenyatta. And we will take him accountable for the failures and successes of Jubilee government. Deputy President was elected in a double ticket with the president, but he went out there to sabotage. Therefore, he will not be counted on the success. So he should not come to it. After seeing the ground and after realizing that Kenyans are no longer fools and they are seeing what the government of Jubilee has done, he has turned out now to support the same government that he was criticizing. That he will not take from us, and will not take the success of President Uhuru Kenyatta and use it as his campaign to let him concentrate on the divisive hustler narrative and the wheelbarrow. Let him leave the agenda of President Uhuru Kenyatta to be defended by people who support the president and who mean well for this country. And if it's a reality, let him come and support the BBI openly without hiding in those cocoons.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Pearl, thank you so much. And still on the same page, page 4, I'll just quote what President Uhuru Kenyatta said yesterday. They claim to know what ails the youth. If you are genuinely concerned about them, you should know they don't want wheelbarrows and handouts, but jobs. That is what President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday said during the Sagana meeting there. Douglas, what do you make up all of this? What Deputy President said yesterday, some people are claiming this government has not done anything, so he's coming out to set the record straight. At the same time, he's been, concerned that the Jubilee government's agenda has been hampered, has not been moving the way it should. So it's confusing. Has Jubilee achieved or not, according to the Deputy President?
Miriam, thank you for that candid question. And I would like to ask the people that support Deputy President or Deputy President William Ruto himself, which projects did he contribute and what was his contribution in Jubilee administration? Because we know after they were elected in 2013, 2017, Deputy President, and a lot of crowd in government, and that crowd translated into sending police officers and also people to fence off the playground for the people, for the children in Langata. Poor children were chased and tear-gassed by the Deputy President under the orders of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Deputy President William Ruto, together with the Jubilee administration, promised to deliver the Arol and Kimwarel dams. Actually, Kimwarel is where the former CS for Treasury and Rotich comes from. These people went and speculated and bought the land around Arol and Kimwarel, but what they have delivered after gobbling over 64 billion shillings, what they have delivered is thickets and bushes. Today, if you go to Arol and Kimwarel villages, you'll encounter thickets and bushes. What is the legacy of Deputy President William Ruto in Jubilee government? If President Uhuru Kenyatta accuses Deputy President William Ruto of declaring development record and also taking his development record from the rooftop of the cars and everything, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya is doing the same. The President is right on that. What is the legacy of Deputy President William Ruto in Jubilee government, apart from picking kickbacks from Chinese contractors who are also building the SGL and other government projects in the Republic of Kenya? Which is the legacy of the Deputy President from 2013-2017, Miriam? We need to be told from this man that suffers from political schizophrenia that why are we being told today that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has delivered? What has he delivered? The president himself said these projects don't come from heaven. They are articulated and also implemented from State House. Deputy President William Ruto has been stealing money from Kenyans and also taking those monies in sacks in different parts of this country. Again, Miriam, this is the same man between 2013 and 2017 and some parts of 2018 who has been launching fake projects across the nation. In Central Imment, where I come from, in Meru County, we are full of those ghost projects. Deputy President William Ruto would invest in one sack of cement and one wheelbarrow of sand and launch a project, and then that project you would say that the project will be allocated money for that. When you follow up with the government has no agenda for that. Another thing, Miriam, that I need to also understand from the Deputy President is that what has he been contributing except the sabotage of the President of the Republic of Kenya and undermining his authority, including in his backyard? I need to be told like a small boy because I don't understand. This is the same man who has been sending contractors who have been given government roads to construct. Instead of constructing roads in Eldoret and in other parts of the country, they were being sent to Sugoi with lorries of tons of cement to be able to construct his home. This is a man who has been able to undermine the president and his role as a leader of Mount Kenya region. Whereas instead of taking development Mount Kenya region, he would be pick kickbacks from those projects, eat everything, but take 1 million shilling to a church and then tell them how he is helping the president. I want to be told. I tire talking about deputy president. I tire talking about corruption. I want to be told what is the legacy of the deputy president in this administration. Again, the President of the Republic of Kenya understands that the context and the text of where we are as a people. Today, you cannot give graduates wheelbarrows today. If Deputy President William Ruto is so fixated giving young people wheelbarrows, I want him to sack June Ruto, the daughter who is charged the affairs in Rome, Italy, so that I can be employed as an ambassador. Mtoto yake achukue wheelbarrow. Again, at the end of the day, if Deputy President William Ruto wants to keep giving young people wheelbarrows in this nation, I want to be told as a young person, why is he not giving wheelbarrows to the people of Sugoi, Eldoret, Bomet, and also Nandi? Why is Deputy President William Ruto not taking his benevolent province to his own backyard? Why is he bringing wheelbarrows to Mount Kenya? I have never seen, I'm yet to see President Uhuru Kenyatta bringing wheelbarrows to the people in his backyard, even in El Bagon in Nakuru County. I want to be shown wheelbarrows donated by the president in Meru, in Isiolo, in Northeastern. I want to be told why Deputy President William Ruto has been investing corrupt money. When he says he invests in heaven, he is giving us wheelbarrows in Mount Kenya region. This is a shameless man who suffers from political schizophrenia, and we cannot continue allowing him, Miriam, to undermine the President of the Republic of Kenya at the expense of development in this nation. Again, this is a man that has been running for President of the Republic of Kenya since 2013. Again, there were no elections. Actually, in 2022, I don't believe there will be elections because these reforms, we have not seen any reforms now. If we can be able to add 2 more years for development to come from State House, we can add 2 more years, Miriam, because at the end of the day, as a young person, I am tired from hearing Deputy President talking about development. Since 2013, 2017, been launching fake projects, Miriam, in this nation. One of the things that we need to be told, if an airplane today flies across Western Hotel, it flies on a crappy public ground, Miriam. I tire, Miriam. Thank you.
You dropped the mic there. All right, thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very much, viewers. Wherever you are, I can see some viewers. My role is to watch the background when it comes to Doctor, to your panel discussing the Deputy President. But I want to summarize. Dr. William Samoei Ruto's goose is cooked. Don't talk too much. It's cooked. Imeiva. That's point number 1. Dr. Ruto claims to have MPs. Yeah, last night I was doing mathematics. Honestly, as a political scientist. And I wrote and I said, it is very good to study political science and not be like a mongrel who walks around in the Facebook trying to insult people. No, study, go to school and have tools of analysis. I looked at the figures and from Friday, I've been looking at the figures in the parliament. Second point, impeachment is on the way. Ruto will be impeached. The number of MPs he claims to have are only 116. And out of those 116, Uhuru will even get some people to come back. Some of them will not go to their homes if you don't vote that impeachment. So, Mr. Ruto, prepare your lawyers. You are going to be impeached. Sindio mlisema niseme haki, I'm summarizing. 3, mambo ya kuiba misumari ya SGR, we shall come on it. Na kuiba mabati na sementi. Several, what do you teach? As one of the viewers here said, what do you teach your children when you insult a president of a country? What do people think about you Kenyans? Had you, as a Kenyan on this panel, sat down and thought, how do people feel about you? When you hear you are from Kenya, people run very good marathon, but then people insult the president in front of the deputy president. They tell him, your president is the presidency, is the symbol of the country. And how you insult him on a daily basis without people coming up to stand for him is what will bring down Ruto. Point number 4. If you look at the gang that is crowded with Ruto, they are all thieves or drug dealers. From Ngirichi, wife, Can I go ahead? These are all drug dealers. Kajakwa is what that man with a very terrible mouth. What is his name? He's always talking ill about Uhuru Kenyatta. He has forgotten the way he used to slaughter people when he was the DO in Moro or Njoro. Was it in Njoro?
The Moro, the butcher of Moro. You got the Gachagua.
Yeah. If you get Gachagua and leave him in Moro, people return to be cannibals. It is sad that a man from Nyeri, whose account had over 7 billion shillings, unaccounted, and there's no accountability. And the financial intelligence network looked at the money coming in. It is sad. Miriam, in all this, can I tell you one, as I summarize, so that you get contented. Ruto might not know, but if your own president said, deal with my deputy at your own risk, it's like a child being told by the father that, the father tells the public that, you know what, my daughter there, you want to marry her on your own risk. Will you marry such a child? Will you marry a daughter of such a person? If the father comes to you and tells you that, I am sure you are Mr. David, you want to marry the daughter, I don't want to use any other thing, but you want to marry my daughter, beautiful daughter. She's not beautiful. She's like a thief. She's a thief. She's this. Will you marry the daughter? No. Kenyans, it is up to you. The choice is up to you. The biggest problem, don't react like Tanga group. One of the most important, one of the worst characters is insults. They only know how to insult. They don't know how to reason using the brain. That's why they have not calculated the number of MPs who can float either way. If you see 42 members of parliament who are independent, whom the government, if someone is determined to take Ruto through an impeachment, in the Senate, he will fall within 1 hour. Actually, 20 minutes. Because the whole ODM, the entire ODM will vote against him. You need only to pick a few from the Jubilee senators you have harassed, and then pick a few senators from the Kanu, Wiper, add there. You have already annoyed him, Kalonzo. He has got a senator or 2 senators. They will be whipped. They will vote you out of power and you will never see his power. Thank you very much. Malin from Kiambu. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. Are you hearing us? Malin? Well, the studio will work with Miriam. Thank you. If you look at all the things that I've told you, and I want Kirimi to take this message. In 1981, President Museveni took a war, decided to fight Obote. But he did not decide to fight that war in his home in Ankole. He took the war in the biggest densely populated Baganda. I want Kirimi and the Javani Karanja and the Kidimwag to seriously take my position and see what I'm talking about. This guy and the Professor Jared Onya, you are all younger generation, professors older than you. This guy, Ruto, has a plan B. Be careful. Why does he concentrate in a densely populated area? Is the theory of Fanon funds. Fanon funds. I've told you this every time, but you don't see it. Ruto is not interested in the 2022. He knows he will not be there. He knows. I've just mentioned to you. Why are you wasting time to say 2022 on Ruto's ears? Ruto is not interested there. Ruto is planning an insurgency. And let the security agencies hear me. I am one of the few well-organized combatants in the region since 1978. There is no intelligence in this region that can run away from me. I gather intelligence every night. It's on my fingertips. Why did Ruto concentrate in the Kikuyu land? Why and why is it Eldoret? It's very peaceful. I want you to answer me. Why is Eldoret very peaceful? Why are wheelbarrows not flowing in Eldoret? Why are rallies not taking place in Eldoret? He has safeguarded his people. But the theory behind it is if you want to make the government of the day unpopular, you go to the densely populated areas of the huge population, kill some of them, make some of them poor, brainwash some of them, pay some to insult the president, among the MPs and the youth. Tell them it is Uhuru Kenyatta who ate your money. You would have been very rich, but Uhuru Kenyatta ate your money. That's what Ruto has said. If you look at what Ndindi Nyoro is saying in these public rallies, he's saying it is them, Uhuru Kenyatta. Umeona? It is them who have eaten your money. Now, Miriam, with that scenario being brought, it is them. I am a very poor man. I did not steal any money. I have not grumbled any land. I have no hotel on Langata Road. I am very poor. My insurance company has been, declared bankrupt, but it is operating in Kampala in full scale, even issuing licenses for trucks that come to Kenya. Have you seen what the guy is? That's what the guy is. And that's the guy you should not just underrate. Don't. This guy is not interested in election. Professor Jared Onyari, you are a spiritual healer, a champion. We believe that God speaks to champions. You think the man is interested in elections? Kirimi, you are sitting here telling us election 22. Which one? He is not. He knows he will not be there on the ballot. Therefore, he would like to disrupt the whole of it for all of you. You get my point? He wants all of you not to have it. Because you cannot go and openly underrate your own president in front of such a big crowd, million. It's impossible. Unless you have something that you know is a plan B. Yesterday we had a man from Chad who told us that in Chad, he was on the panel. If you want to criticize the president in Chad, you first of all get a plane on the tarmac, on the runway. Then you come and insult the president Idris of Chad. And they insult him when you are in Congo Republic or in Cameroon, and knowing you will not return there. But this is a man who insults the president from morning up to evening. I defend the president's legacy, media. And that's why I'm talking about the man who is insulting him day and night. And therefore, look at those things. Let's go for the impeachment. He has no numbers. Even those in Greek will not vote for him. The guy will go out. So the earlier he realizes and turns back and apologizes and does things without violence, the better. If you look at the numbers, if you assume all the MPs who don't like him are 216, you only need how many? 7, isn't it? 7, there are 233, isn't it? You need 27. 42 MPs are floating. There is no government that can be so stupid that can allow 42 MPs to float. Eh? So the mathematics is on the ground, on the floor of the house. It will finish the deputy. He can pay the money. And there is one thing I want to arm you people. In Uganda last week, the Bank of Uganda governor openly, and I'm now telling people I am going to shock you. That's why I've told you this man here should be careful. Well, she took on the data. The governor of the Bank of Uganda disagreed in front of Parliament on Thursday with the minister, his minister of finance, who is Museveni's appointed. The minister of finance wanted 485 billion to be given to Bank of Uganda. 485 billion to be given to the Bank of Uganda. And I want the people to listen carefully here. Whose money is that? Why was the Minister of Finance of Uganda looking for 485 billion? The deputy governor of the bank came and said, no, I don't need that money. I don't know where the minister is taking the money. We don't need it. We don't need it. My friend Mutebile, whom we have been with from the struggle of Binaisa, Tanzania, and so on, sent this younger man to tell the world there is something strange about somebody who banked extra money. Now, they wanted to legalize it, to restart, or there's something, a business word, which is used to upkeep the central bank so that they can draw that money and give to the owner. Now, I don't want to give you more details here, but I'm telling you, the money that Kenya was looking for, where is it? The minister was very embarrassed when the governor said We don't want any extra penny because the bank made profit. The Bank of Uganda made profit. It has enough money to service its loans and its commitments. Honorable members of parliament, I want to tell you, don't add a penny. And we don't want that money to be brought to us. If the minister wants it, can keep it in his office. Miriam, when the governor Njoroge said the money got lost, where did it go? Kirimi inakupatia hiyo ink mpya na Karanja, na wapatia that ink. Whose money is this? 485 billion of Uganda money divided by 33 per shilling. How much? Miriam can tell us quickly. How much is that? It should be a lot of money that was coming, that was being heaped on Bank of Uganda, so that when the banker says, Bank of Kenya, Kenya Commercial Bank, or Kenya Central Bank of Kenya, can you give us some local currency? We need some Kenyan money. You get my point? We want to buy some Kenya money. Have you seen the trick? Kirimi, have you seen the trick? Karanja, Professor Nyari, Miriam, have you seen what has happened? The money that is going to destabilize this country, where is it coming from? Njoroge said, I have no money. Some money like a trillion. How many trillion? Almost a trillion got lost. So all the people following the deputy president are aware that there is money to be eaten. In fact, you can see from the comments they make is to eat money. You tell a lie and eat the money. If you got the deputy president and tell the truth, he will not give you a penny. But you go and tell him a lie that yesterday at night I saw Kenyatta driving towards Jomo Kenyatta Airport and he is left quietly for Dubai. The deputy president will pay you. So thank you very much. Those are some of the what I feel, what I believe. We have already crossed over to the second hour. We can do the African situation in the 1 hour only. So if we can do that and discuss the legacy, Miriam, it is unfortunate we started at 10, but this show will be starting at 9 from tomorrow. But today, because it was a Monday and there were so many delays, we shall be starting at 9 up to 11. 2 hours, 1 hour is ours. I want, and it's for the legacy, and the other hour is for you. That is what we want to do, and that is how it will be. But we can now extend another hour up to 12. Then we can discuss, is integration of Africa worth it, given someone, the police officer in Kampala beats people in order to police them. So I don't know. If you can. I've finished.
All right, Doctor. We look at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy just a little bit, and I think you mentioned something earlier there about the SGR, so maybe we should put a special focus on that and see how is this investment serving Kenyans so far, what are some of the achievements and what is being done in terms of expanding our railway network in this country. We know the one that is still being rehabilitated from Nairobi to Kisumu there, and the reason why President Uhuru Kenyatta chose to use the army, he's told us before, and the one in Nanyuki also, he used the army to rehabilitate, and in the process the country, I think, saved a lot of money that would have been paid if other people are the ones who are taking care of the the rehabilitation. So, of course, Kenya Railways on Wednesday, January 27th, announced the resumption of a double stack cargo train service from the Mombasa port via the standard gauge railway. In a statement, Kenya Railways announced that it had started loading and moving double track freight trains between Port of Mombasa and Inland Container Depot in Nairobi. So I think because of the amount of cargo that is supposed to be brought into the dry port in Naivasha, so now they increased the number of times that should be taking effect. And I think with when they came to power, President Uhuru Kenyatta in the first time, they were very keen on creating a 24-hour economy. And so perhaps now it is on track.
Thank you. First of all, I will not talk too long. Point number one, why did the British construct the railway from Mombasa to Kasese? Point number two, from 1901, when the railway reached Kisumu, which was Port Florence. Was it Port Florence or, yes, Port Florence. To 1955, when it arrived in Kasese, the year I was born. What benefits have grown along this railway? Believe me or not, Miriam and Akidi will be witnesses that most of the people working in the railway are from their place. Kenya Railways was well known for the people from Kisumu and Nyanza. Very many of them are in Lugazi, in Kampala, in Fort Portal, in Kasese, in Jinja, in Tororo, in Malaba, in Bungoma, in Kitale, in Eldoret. If you go to the railway quarters, the biggest population, the engineers, the train managers, the conductors are from Kisumu. What did the railway cause? The railway created intermarriages. So when you are looking at the SGR, also look at what has the SGR done in Wote, in Makueni, in Machakos, in Mariakani. What will it do in Malaba? What will it do in Kandui, in Bungoma, in Banti Forest? Intermarriages, hotels. Those who criticize President Uhuru Kenyatta have forgotten one thing. None of the people have seen the benefit of SGR. The SGR is simply telling us, open up. Open up. Create hotels. If this railway is going to be refurbished up to Kisumu, as President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing, and then it changes to light railway to go to Mombasa, the fish from Kisumu will be sold in Mombasa. What would you have gained? Money, less accidents on the road, cars that are running the fish, that travel, tying our fish outside. Every wind, every snake, every insect, biting the fish on the car window, that you are going to sell it in Mombasa. 2, hotels that are Kenyans should be now thinking of hotels. We want to explain this this achievements of the president, the legacy. Open up hotels, prepare for guests from Rwanda. 10 years is not very far. COVID-19, God willing, leaving most of us alive. In 10 years, you will be able to climb a train from Nairobi up to Kigali. You can even enjoy you can carry your laptop, you can carry your girlfriend, you can carry your wife, your husband, your calico, everything you want. Carry it along in your cabin. Relax in Kigali, your suit. You do your business, return to Nairobi the following morning. This is coming. So along this route, that's why you see the Bazungu were very, very focused to put up the East African Railway from Mombasa up to Kasese. 1, to carry copper. 2, to make sure that Lake Victoria is usable. They needed fresh fish. If you look at the reasons why Museveni took over the island of Mujingo, and they said the island might be yours, but the water around it is not yours, or whatever, vice versa. It's fish. Every day, even in COVID conditions, there are 2 planefuls of Uganda fish, tilapia, being delivered at London Gatwick or Stansted. Fresh tilapia. I know the company that is doing it. I don't want to reveal here because some of them are children. Me, I don't talk about the family of people. But you can see where I'm heading. Every day, 2 planefuls of tilapia harvested around the Mujingo Island. Why should a man take over the water and say, you can have the island, but don't, or you can have, but the water is not yours? Why Mujingo? Fish breeds where there is a low current. And the waters around the Mujingo on Lake Victoria, you know the surface is like this. It's where it tilted. The waters are cooler, very calmer. It is like a Kisimayo. Why do you think Americans want to retain Kisimayo? It's deep, cool waters. There is a saying about that. You people who have studied your literature recently. Deep, cool waters don't speak a lot. Fish breed around deep, cool waters. It is an advantage for you people to have this rail, the SGR, the rail infrastructure reaching Kisumu. So for me, I want to submit that we should prepare for so many other activities, commerce, industries. If you go to China, I've gone there to China. The longest railway in the world is found in China. But every stop of China, up to the last point on that railway, there are over 100, 1,000, over 1,000 industries. Those growing slippers, making shoes, making rice, making tinned beef. These things do happen. Is Kenya, therefore, Miriam, prepared to utilize the SGR? We chose this SGR because so many people have got a lot of misinterpretations, calling the president that he was not wise for the president to engage himself in getting the loan for SGR and getting it to be done, completed, and go inside, take away the burden from our main roads. I submit and leave to the panel to make a comment briefly in 1 minute each about the SGR. We shall revisit.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. So the SGR is the only service in Kenya that has the capacity to ferry double stacked, and was one of the reasons why the modern rail was built at a cost of around 360 billion Kenya shillings. cargo movers, of course, complained about the high cost, but it was subsidized. And of course, because of the demand, now we've seen the government increase the frequency there. And even as we speak right now, Kenya Railways is operating a third pair of passenger train on its standard gauge railway service, operating in the night service. That started on January 4th, 2021. The Madaraka Express night train commences journey from both ends of the line in Nairobi and Mombasa at 9 p.m. and its journey at 3 a.m. So I think that also is a recent addition there. So even the passenger train is able to operate at night, which I think we must make the best use of this train. So I think that is a good thing. So in line with that, Professor, what do you think are some of the benefits that Kenyans, you can say, have benefited so far in this great investment, and is it worth it? Douglas.
If there's anything good which was done for this country,
Okay.
it was the construction of the standard gauge railway, Miriam. I know there's a lot of critique that the cost of it was so exorbitant. Yes, it's true, but you know who Kenyans we are. Land is very cost. Much of the money went to compensate, as compensation those who own land where the railway line was passing. And without land, Miriam, there is no way. Land is one of the factors of production, Miriam. You must have land to construct. And if this land belongs to the people, Miriam, the government cannot actually go to acquire that land without compensating people. So much of the cost of standard gauge railway line, Miriam, it is because of land. People anticipated, they knew the standard gauge railway would pass here. They went and acquired land, and then the government was to buy from them. That's what made it very, very expensive, and that is a result of Miriam because of corruption. Mm. Corruption will kill a country, even when we want to have projects which will take the country forward. Mm-hmm. Be it as it may, Miriam, Dr. Matsanga has eloquently elaborated when we built the Kenya-Uganda railways from 1896 to 1901 when it reached Kisumu. By then, he's trying to educate Jivan and Douglas and others, because this is also an education, very educative community TV. Mm-hmm. Port Florence then. You can see the British wanted their raw materials to come all the way from Uganda, go to Mombasa, and then it is exported to various parts of the world. They wanted for raw materials. And when their finished products come to this country, they will find their way all the way to Uganda. So one of the things, Miriam, it is very effective. I don't know, some of our panelists here have used the standard gauge railway. Miriam, you come from Mombasa 3 hours. 3 hours. So it means that people can be able to go to Mombasa, they can be able to do their transaction and come back in the same day. And any country which wants to move forward, Miriam, I want to speak from the development point of view, you must be able to improve the efficiency of standard gauge of your transport. Miriam, someone will come all the way from Mombasa, he reaches Nairobi, and finds you who started 3 p.m., you have not reached the Eastlands. You will be stuck 3 hours on a jam. Mm-hmm. So you can see when you be able to save man hours, Miriam, then you have done that. So Miriam, one of the other things here, Miriam, you can agree with me that it has reduced accidents on our roads. It has reduced deaths. We used to have a truck in the night, a bus carrying people, but do you ever hear that since the construction of the standard gauge railway was put in use? Mm-hmm. And Miriam, we have managed to save one life. Mm-hmm. Is there anywhere you can tell me, Miriam, we can go and save life or buy that life? So on that, Miriam, it is very important, Miriam. Another factor with the standard gauge railway, Miriam, here is that the duration of our roads, the lifespan will be, because now the trucks will not be using our roads. Although because of corruption, Miriam, the people who tried to bring the railway system in this country, Miriam, and if there's any legacy, Miriam, if there's any legacy, President Uhuru Kenyatta has done for this country is to revive that railway line. it means the farmers in Meru, in Nanyuki, will be able to get their farm products, Miriam, and they will go all the way to Mombasa, out and a part of the country. So from where I sit, Miriam, and when I look at the standard gauge railway, and there is no doubt, Miriam, people say that it's not going to make profit. So we cannot want to make profit out of it. Miriam, try to book for it and see when the date we get a affordable seat. If we only fight corruption, if we properly manage it, and there's been a critique, Miriam, that we are seeing the Chinese, they're managing, they're doing this. Miriam, these are people who have given us money. It is their money they have given, and you have not paid it back. So, Miriam, for us to move forward, we have to work in the cooperation and in partnership. That's what you do. And all the times, Miriam, Kenyans should come out of wherever they are to just reading marriage on everything else. So from where I want to submit that, Miriam, the standard gauge line will open this country. People are able to, Miriam, you see, like now, we are having an interrand in Naivasha. Miriam, even the businessman, they can tell you that when they used to do the clearance, we used to have a lot of backlog in the port. But you know, this thing, Miriam, it takes minutes. That things is overloaded from the ship, put on the train cargo, and they're all the way to Nairobi here. So, Miriam, it is a good thing. This is a good thing, Miriam. For 100 years, we did not be able to build even a kilometer, even 10-meter railway line. But President Uhuru Kenyatta has successfully midwifed and implemented all the dreams and the projects which were started by the Prime Minister and President Mwai Kibaki. And on this, he has scored, and is going to walk out of office at his head high for having achieved much in terms of the railway line. And I'm seeing forward, Miriam, it could have not been the narrow thinking of our friend here down here, Magufuli. In fact, as we speak today, Miriam, there will be a railway line going all the way standard gauge up to Kigali. But the bad manners of our corruption, it made Uganda and Kigali to think otherwise. I submit.
All right, very well. Thank you so much. Kidi, investment worth over 360 billion Kenya shillings so far, a couple of years later. Is it worth it? And has Kenyans benefited?
Miriam, before Mr. Kidi comes in, we have a guest, a lady by name Marlene. She has been online for some time. Kidi, can you shift?
I accede, Daktari.
Of the lady, so that we are not misunderstood. Marlene, are you able to hear us now? Bad luck. Kidi, you can. Oh, are you able to hear us now? Marlene from Kiambu in Gatundu South, are you able to hear us? Oh, I think Moses Kuri has not put there some internet. We can. Marlene, are you able to hear us? Okay, thank you very much. That was Marlene from South Gatundu.
We need boosters there. We need internet boosters in Kiambu there.
Talk to us.
Yes.
Thank you very much to be able to tell us what is happening in Gatundu South. And you can see the people of Gatundu South themselves. So not asking me many questions. We shall ask her.
Thank you so much. Kidi, go ahead. For the interest of time. Go ahead, Kidi.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Well, I wanted to say, preface my comment by saying that any responsible government the world over must invest in its infrastructure. And the investment on the SGR remains one of the single largest, biggest investment that we've done as a country since independence. The SGR, the LAPSET, forms part of the brainchilds of the Grand Coalition government that they handed over to the Jubilee administration, things that the country must do as we gear towards Vision 2030. Now the question is, do we get value for money in the SGR? The answer is that the president, in his infinite wisdom, saw it fit that to ensure that we can move goods between the port of Mombasa and Nairobi, we needed to ensure that we create an infrastructure that makes sure that that happens without unnecessary delay in between. Because previously you realize that there was a huge traffic snarl along the Mombasa-Nairobi stretch, so that moving from Mombasa to Nairobi in itself would take over 12 hours. We have cut that into 3 hours. When President Obama was here in 2015, he said that by the time we were turning the century into the early 2000s, our economic edgemates, like the Asian tigers, had overtaken us. People who are our economic edgemates in the 60s had overtaken us 20 times. But when he came in 2015, he reminded us that we had closed that gap by about 20 times. We can only make progress when we make certain key investments, so that we know that there have been problems with how the SGR was implemented. But in Kiswahili we say mgala muue na haki mpe. Let us give and appreciate that the president was wise enough to make sure that today investors can conveniently move their goods between the port and Nairobi. Thank you, Miriam, I submit.
All right, very well. And not just investors, even for myself, the SGR is very, very, very convenient for me. Thank you so much. Douglas, is it worth the investment? 360 billion Kenya shillings years later. Douglas. All right.
Thank you, Miriam.
Go ahead.
It's supposed to be Jevan. Jevan?
I said Douglas, so go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Miriam. And one thing we need to demystify is the Chinese went through when they were implementing the SGR. We need to tell Kenyans the truth. This is the year of the truth. The president has come out very clearly and is also telling us the truth about the intrigues in power and what happens. We need to tell Kenyans that when the SGR was being built, that the price of SGR had to go up because some people are building their homes and also building their friends' homes using the materials from SGR. The nails, the cement can be traced in some people's homes. The Chinese have been intimidated in this country. There are people in government that the president has said have been hijacking government projects and stealing from every ounce that the president and the government of the Republic of Kenya pumps in projects. Miriam, these are the same people who stole everything from Kimorel and Arol. Today we have thickets and bushes instead of building dams in Arol and Kimorel. Miriam, we need to tell each other the truth, and these are ones that I can be held account for, and Dr. Matsanga and everyone else. It is in public domain that these people have been harassing the Chinese contractors, and also the same contractors have been harassed across the nation. And they have created problems for them, took bribes from them, and also stole building materials from them. What would have happened if these Chinese people were not harassed and also victimized by these people in power? It is the same people that would have brought more development area in our country, the way we have seen the president is delivering one project after another. Actually, there is a Chinese company that has built a road from Kitui town to Kibwezi. In record time, actually, they have been able to deliver that road without much stress because Charity Ngiru and people in Ukambani are not stealing from this GL, from the road. The people that were put in charge of asking for the progress of the SGL stole from the people of Kenya and from the trust and the public mandate that we gave them. They harassed and victimized the Chinese people. Chinese people cannot talk because when they talk, they are deported. At the end of the day, What we are experiencing today is phenomenon in our country. We are reading in Africa, this SGL, we have seen Magufuli has also tried to bring the SGL. There is no SGL in Uganda. This SGL has been able to transform our country. And also, Miriam, today, if someone wants to go to Mombasa on low budget, they can book the SGL at the comfort of their homes, and also they can be able to travel without necessarily having to travel overnight. And also, like the Professor Jared Onyari said, having the buses over time, they can travel comfortably. We have never had accidents on SGL. So it has been able to curb the road carnage. And also, the people that have been ordering cargo from Mombasa to Nairobi have been taking weeks to process those cargo from Mombasa to Nairobi. This takes a record time to bring to Nairobi and also clear from the Naivasha inland port. Miriam, this is captured in the international diaries. The people that were opposing, not BBI, SGL, sorry. The people that were opposing SGL, the transporters themselves. Today, people in logistics, BBI is the national conversation, so Miriam, forgive me. All people right. People in logistics in this country, Miriam, just a moment, in logistics are the same people praising SGL for its efficiency and also record time in also bringing everything that they want to bring to Nairobi very easily. And Miriam, this is a welcome development, and we thank the president. Again, the people that talk about value for SGL, government is not out to make profit. Government is about to make services easier and accessible to the people. And the people of Kenya are happy. They are using SGL and they don't want profit. Where do they want to take the profit from government if it's not to steal the same profit that they want government to generate? Government is about service to the people, accessible services and easy services. So Miriam, on the issue of profit for SGL, yes, as a people, we have gotten the issue about the profit on SGL. If I want to take my girlfriend to Mombasa today, I don't need a lot of money. I just need to book that and take them to Mombasa, book some hotel and take them back to Nairobi, and life moves on. Thank you, Miriam.
Okay. Miriam, thank you very much. The guest has come. Marlene, can you hear us now? Yeah, switch off. Unmute.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, now.
Sorry about that.
And be addressed by the studio. We are talking about the legacy. Have you ever traveled on the train? Have you ever gone to Mombasa? What are the benefits? As you from Gatundu South, what do you view the legacy as it is of President Uhuru Kenyatta as far as the SGR is concerned?
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me. It's Marlene from Kiambu. That's Gatundu South. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to travel with the SGR yet, but I have had a lot of opinions on people who have used it already. And there's a lot of benefits. First of all, the timing. It's the time to get to Mombasa has reduced. And it's more economical. First of all, it's cheaper than using buses and all that, and it's more safer, especially because you don't have a lot of, there's reduced accidents and all that. Also, it's a new revolution that Uhuru Kenyatta brought to the country, because the train system was not in motion at all for the longest time. At least that was brought back, and kids who, like me especially, when growing up, I got to use a train at all. So, in fact, on that point, I'm going to make a point and visit Mombasa using the train.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So that I can have...
Do you envisage that more people from Gatundu South and more people from all over Kenya are thinking the same way you are thinking?
Yes, of course. In fact, after the trains came in now, when they start being used, a lot of people have visited Mombasa because of the train. So yes, it's much appreciated. I can tell you that for sure.
How is the feeling on infrastructure on the ground where you are in Gatundu South, the roads, the type of... As the CDF money, has the money from developed institutions, has the money from the central government, the national roads. How do you find the roads, the changes in Gatundu South?
It's a big change. In fact, I had Uhuru authorized the construction of the Mau Mau roads, which has already started, and it's actually going very well. It's going to go all the way to Aberdare. It's already started where the Mau Mau the routes they used to use, it's getting constructed right now. And also the highway, people are actually overwhelmed. It's just that I don't know, these other people from the other side are bringing complications, but people are very happy. And it's not like before. I don't know most of the roads are actually under construction right now.
Mm-hmm. When you say, I'm still firing your questions. When you say the other side, this television does not hide the other side, but we have understood since you are new to the station today, and we don't want to frighten you from our correspondent from Gatundu South and from Kiambu General. We understand who they are.
Yes.
That is the Matsanga group. Those who say they don't see any development. In your analysis, given the infrastructure changes that President Uhuru Kenyatta has made, given the revamping of all this old railway, everything, in one sentence, before we return to the studios, how many marks would you give Uhuru?
Out of 10 or like out of 100, I would actually give him 85. The remaining 15 is the problems that the other side is bringing, because I can tell you for sure, people are seeing the changes that the changes that are happening in the society and in the country, but because of politics and hearsay and getting things told in your ears from the other group, because that's all that is happening. People can use their eyes and they can see the changes that are happening, but the other side has to work. They have to fight for their space also. But we had to tell people that use your eyes, be tangible, use what you can see, because you can't trust someone who just tells you stories. You have to trust someone who showed you the way and held your hand and is still holding your hand. Yes, Dr.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television.
Thank you.
Correspondent from today, 1st February, the year of our Lord, from Kiambu. She will be here analyzing news for us from Kiambu. We want to thank you, your introduction, your assertiveness, the punch. You bring the punches, and I believe Miriam and other panelists will agree that we need the voice of the second lady on the panel, that we are not becoming human beings of one race. So, welcome Marine from Kiambu.
Thank you.
The people there say it as it is. You say the other people on the other side. So, but the other people on the other side, we call them Mr. Tanga Tanga. So, always bring in that. You will encounter this for many times. Miriam, I believe, I don't know whether there was anybody else going to speak on this.
Jevon was about to make his remarks. Yes, on SGR.
And we invite you to stay on to watch the Africa integration, which is going to be conducted by Miriam from the studios. For me, from wherever I am in London, I am very grateful that, yes, the TV is growing, and I thank the people who suggested the name for me. Marine is a student of public relations from one of the universities in town, and she's a master. She is also a business lady, not business only, but she's in travel and tourism. Am I wrong?
Yes. No, you're very correct.
So when we are looking for some of these solutions, you will be hosting some of the business programs. Run them here with us, with Kirimi, who is also a branding manager. As you know, Punchline always looks for the best brains. We are not interested in volume. We're interested in the brains.
All right,
So
Barin,
thank you.
it's very lovely to have you on the show today.
That's why you see the brain.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Miriam,
joining us. Jevan,
Javan
you finally.
Karanja in
How are
Nanyuki.
you?
Yes.
Thank you.
SGR,
You are
is it
joining
worth the
the fruits of the
investment?
railway.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. David Matsanga. And to Maureen, welcome to the show. Thank you for the good punches. And we feel different. You know, we have been used to these big voices, but now at least we have a diversity, and we feel at home. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Matsanga, for that integration. And on the issue of SGR, let me say one thing on the onset. It has created jobs. And when you look at the website from the railway station, Kenya Railways, you see that it has employed almost 3,000 young Kenyans from different professionals. Therefore, people are getting jobs from the SGR, not only from the SGR, but also from the meter gauge railway, all the way from Nairobi to Nanyuki. And after the renovation of meter gauge railway from Nairobi to Kisumu, more people will be employed. Therefore, it is creating employment. And number two, it has also led to this issue of urbanization. Along these stations where the train stops and take passengers in and out, you see that these towns develop. And from these areas of Nanyuki, since the meter gauge railway started, the town of Kiganjo, where President was attending church yesterday, things are changing. Business is booming, and people are investing because people come there, they in and out of the train, they buy goods, they take some stuff, tea and mandazi there, and that is job creation. And we see the urbanization. And we know before the meter gauge railway was renovated, Kiganjo was in shanks, but today Kiganjo is booming. When you come to a town like Narumoro, and I know that is the case with the standard gauge railway around Mombasa all the way to Nairobi, towns are growing up, people are investing. And on the issue of tourism, it is a reality. Domestic tourism is becoming a reality through the standard gauge railway, through the meter gauge railway, and the people who have not been into Mombasa are going there to enjoy and to have good times through the SGL because it's cheap, it is affordable, it is reliable, and it's something that any Kenya can access, and it's something that is timely. You can organize on a Friday, and on Saturday you are back, and the domestic tourism is becoming a reality. People are going to see things. People are coming to Nanyuki because you have a lot of conservancies in this side of Kenya, and the people are coming every weekend. The train is coming with thousands of people to these areas. People who never knew Nanyuki, they are coming here to see the good things. Therefore, when domestic tourism grows, jobs are created, money is exchanged, and people interact. And through this interaction, people are creating networks, and that is the kind of things that we enjoy as a country. Also, the issue of tribalism is being dealt with, because when you are in these places, when you visit these places, you meet people from all walks of life, and you start having a national conversation. Therefore, these things should be looked from a wider and a deeper perspective. It is bringing change. Kenyans are happy, and everybody is enjoying these things. And lastly, on the issue of trade, the standard gauge railway is the ease of doing business. You can get your goods from Mombasa to Nairobi with a low cost, and that you'll maximize on your profits. Therefore, it's a reality. And even on the regional trade, the landlocked countries like Uganda, Rwanda are getting their goods in time from Kenya. And if we want to get goods from their country, we can get them with ease. And that trade and exchange of good is what brings export, and country gets money, and the people invest, and investors come. Therefore, it's a reality. And long live SDR, long live President Uhuru Kenyatta. Your legacy is a reality, is something that we can touch, is something that is tangible, is something that the people in Mount Kenya region and all the country are resonating with. Thank you, Miriam.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Jevan.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I think I have done my bit. Tomorrow, we shall start at exactly 9 o'clock so that all of you know what we shall go through. The good morning, the newspapers, review, and all that. Then part 2, of course, tomorrow we are looking at the healthcare system in the legacy. So that you know, when you go home or in your offices, wherever you are, you also do research on the healthcare system Is it working? Then we punch in with the National African Outlook. How is the healthcare COVID situation in Zimbabwe compared to the situation in Kenya? We shall have a panel from Zimbabwe and a panel from Kenya. So we shall merge this. Our legacy tomorrow will deal with that Miriam. It makes work easier for Miriam, also that she doesn't have to start to be on this alone all the time. We need to do 1 hour turnover of our topics so that we don't become monotonous in the sense that people say, these people, let's change these topics. We are on the newspaper review. Second time we are talking about medicine, COVID, disease, what? There is penicillin, there is vaccine. Are we ready to receive it? How many people are receiving? Did the healthcare plan of agenda for work? Yes or no? Is your hospital equipped? Yes or no? Are there doctors well paid? Yes or no? The nurses. So those are the things we shall tackle tomorrow. How can the government pay the nurses immediately? How can did we hurry to transfer health ministry to the governors? Did we hurry? Those are, don't say tomorrow, then you come here and then remain stagnant. I have now said the topics and that the pointers. Did we hurry? Was it in a hurry? Why did we hurry to send these doctors across there when there is no pay slip arrangement? Is it us to blame? Is it the president to blame? Do you blame the president for the failures in the health ministry, in the docket, which has been developed to the governors? Who is delaying this? Who is frustrating this? The Kemsa scandal. All those things we shall touch tomorrow. Has the legacy worked? Miriam, I want to give you to say thank you very much, madam. Tomorrow you will be in control. I will only be asked in the second hour to make comments, and then you take us again in the other part. I will sit back again, discuss. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marlene. Join us in the next hour. Coming next is Integration of Africa Possible by Miriam Ogutu from the headquarters. Is the integration of Africa possible? Professor Nyari, I think the answer is on the lips. Is it possible? Shall we make it? Shall we ashame Nyerere? Shall we ashame Nkrumah? Have we ashamed all the founding fathers? Obote, Emperor Haile Selassie, NASA, Sekou. Have we ashamed them? Will Africa ever integrate to be one country? Surely. Let's not talk like watu tuko porini. Tuzungumize kama watu wanaenda. Let's not talk like a gang, the Tanga gang. Will Africa surely, you know, Kirimi says this is the day for truth. Kesh, tuambiane ukweli. Hii Africa kweli ita unite lini? When you have one policeman beating journalists in order to protect them. An election, the ballot papers up to today have not arrived at the polling station 5 miles away. Will Africa integrate? An opposition leader leads, wins the vote, you steal it, and then beat him up, lock him up. You want to nyanganya his wife. Will Africa integrate? There you are.
Right. Thank you so much, Doctor, for that. Thank you, Professor Kidi, Javan Douglas, and of course, our guest today, Marin. So we are going to take a very short break, and then we shall come back with the diplomatic leaks, where we shall be looking at Africa integration? Is it really possible? What are some of the challenges? What are some of the obstacles, and how can we overcome some of these things? Because we have unity. Unity is our strength, and as it is right now, we're not very strong as a continent because we are very much divided. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Miriam Ogotum. Actually, it's about a minute to midday here, but still, good morning.